Picture this. It's barely dawn. Steam curling off my coffee like a ghost in the chill Wyoming air. And I'm out on my family's 50-acre spread in the shadow of the Tetons, watching the first light hit those jagged peaks like molten gold, when my phone buzzes with a call from dispatch, saying someone's reporting a trespasser on private land, needs to clear out pronto. I chuckle to myself, thinking it's got to be a mix-up, but then I glance over at the neighbor's fancy house and spot her, Linda Voss, peering through those high-end binoculars like she's on some stakeout in a bad spy flick, and I realize, oh man, this lady's called the cops on me for standing on dirt my grandpa homesteaded back in '45 with his GI savings after the war. What would you do if some suburban busybody tried pulling that on your own backyard? I flashed my badge over the fence, hollered back through the dispatcher that Deputy Jack Harlan was right where he belonged, on Harlan land that's been ours for generations, and watched her face drain white as fresh powder snow, knowing this was just the spark to a wildfire of trouble brewing between my quiet ranch life and her gated community empire. See, I'm Jack Harlan, pushing 47 now, a deputy sheriff with 18 years under my belt, fresh off a rough divorce that left me craving the simple things, like fixing up the old barn that still smells like hay and Grandpa's pipe tobacco, or tending to my little herd, including my goat Daisy, who'd nuzzle your hand like an old friend. I'd moved back to the family ranch last fall, 50 acres of pure Wyoming wild, that's seen everything from cattle drives to my kid self learning to mend fences at age 9, figuring it'd be my spot to unwind, sell some fresh eggs and veggies from a roadside stand, maybe find some peace watching sunsets paint the valley red. But then, 6 years back, they plowed in Pine Ridge Meadows right up against my fence line. 52 cookie-cutter mansions with those identical white picket vibes and holiday wreaths that scream, "We're better than you." Most folks there were solid, though. They'd swing by for tomatoes, let their kids feed Daisy scraps, chat about how nice it was having a slice of real country next door, away from the city's hustle. Except for Linda Voss, 55, with her salon-perfect platinum hair that probably cost more than my truck's monthly note, a master's in European literature she dropped into every conversation like a mic, and this air about her like she owned the whole damn county just because her husband Greg ran Voss Developments, the outfit that slapped up Pine Ridge. Their place was the crown jewel, lawn manicured like a golf course, sucking up water while my fields baked dry. And yeah, I caught her eyeing my acres more than once with that calculating gleam, like she was sizing up a prime cut at auction. The real storm hit one crisp July morning when I hear those sharp clicks of designer boots crunching my gravel drive. Linda marching up like she owned the place, clutching this fat binder that screamed trouble, her perfume hitting me like a floral freight train, even making my chickens pause mid-peck to stare. "Mr. Harlan," she says in that clipped tone that sets your teeth on edge, like she's addressing a peasant from one of her lit classes. "I'm here representing the Pine Ridge Homeowners Association on an urgent matter." I wipe grease off my hands from tinkering with the tractor, tilt my hat back. "Ma'am, last I checked, my ranch ain't part of your fancy club." She lets out this brittle laugh, cold as a winter wind. "Oh, but it is now. When Pine Ridge was established, your rustic holdings were annexed under our bylaws for community harmony." Shoves this official-looking letter at me, certified stamp and all, laying out the demands like a royal decree. Dismantle the barn, clear out the coop, shut down the veggie stand, hide the equipment, or face $600 daily fines starting in 30 days. "Property values, you understand," she adds with that smug grin, arms folded tight. "Your little hobby operation is charming in a quaint way, but it's dragging us all down. Thousands in lost equity per home." But here's what didn't sit right. Her eyes kept drifting over my fields with this hungry spark, not just annoyance, like she saw dollar signs in the dirt. And I got this knot in my gut that this wasn't about pretty lawns or resale prices. No, this was deeper, tied to Greg's building gigs, maybe a play for more land to expand their suburban sprawl, power tripping on folks like me who didn't fit their polished picture. That night, rocking on the porch with Daisy's soft bleats mixing into the cricket song, the mountains looming dark and steady, I felt this fire kindle inside, not just mad, but resolved, because I'd seen enough in my deputy days to know bullies like Linda thrive on folks rolling over. And damn if I'd let her steamroll a legacy my grandpa fought for overseas just to hand over to some lit degree tyrant. She didn't drag her feet ramping it up. Filed a county complaint 3 days later, claiming my setup was a health nightmare, manure drawing rats. Petition with 15 signatures from her little clique. Posting skewed pics on the neighborhood app, making my tidy coop look like a junkyard. But Linda slipped early. She hadn't dug into the fine print. I hauled down to the courthouse, pored over those faded docs in a room smelling like stale coffee and old ink, and bam, buried in the legalese, a clause grandfathering in existing ranches like mine, exempt forever from their aesthetic nonsense. Called her bluff by inviting a health inspector myself, old Hank, who'd seen it all, tromped through every inch, tested soil, even patted Daisy like a pro, and wrapped up with a grin. "Jack, this place is cleaner than most city kitchens. You're golden." Sweet as Grandma's berry pie, that vindication. But then Greg slinks over one dusk, fidgety, glancing back at their lit-up mansion like Linda might pop out, whispers, "What'd it take to part with this spread? 50% over market, cash, no fuss." Generous for land supposedly tanking values. Click, pieces falling into place. This was business, not beauty. Them eyeing my acres for Phase 2 of Pine Ridge, using HOA smoke to force a cheap sell. Community tide turned quick. Folks who'd signed her petition yanked back, one posting online, "We got hoodwinked. Jack's ranch is what makes this place feel alive." My stand boomed, families driving in just to support the deputy standing tall against the Voss machine. But Linda? She doubled down, false report claiming I threatened her. Me on shift, showing my sergeant the calm footage of her ranting while I politely ask her off my land. Animal control laughs off her vicious livestock call after meeting Daisy, who tries licking their boots. Then she parks her shiny SUV blocking my drive during rush, clipboard out, jotting plates like a wannabe Fed, lecturing buyers, "You're enabling a blight on our values." I documented it all, videos, notes, building a case like any bust, because in my line, paper trails bury crooks. Dug deeper into records, found Voss blueprints swallowing my land for luxury lots, patterns of harassment on other holdouts, systematic, to squeeze them out cheap. Inner storm raged. This wasn't random spite. It was greed wrapped in rules. Linda's ego masking a land grab that'd erase family histories for profit. Push came to shove when I unearthed the bombshell. No legit HOA at all. Just Linda's binder of notes and online templates. No state filing, no bonds. Zilch. Subpoenaed finances? Over $400K in dues straight to her personal account. Trips to Italy as conferences, SUV leases as admin, home spa as community upgrades. Fraud city, embezzlement, wire scams, the works. Explained her frenzy. One poke, and her castle crumbled, exposing years of fleecing neighbors. Coordinated with DA Palmia, let Linda keep swinging, each wild punch adding charges. Sabotage tries like fumbling a crowbar on my pipes at midnight. Cameras caught her comedy of errors. Herbicide spray that boomeranged on her grass. Bribing Inspector Tom with $2,000 to fake a barn condemnation. He flipped it straight to us. Desperation peaked with her hiring a PI to prove my drug ring. Veggie sales, folks. Only for him to report her offer to fabricate dirt. Sent threats to my customers, accessories to crime, sparking rallies at my stand, old-timers in lawn chairs waving folks in, Mrs. Ellis schooling Linda mid-blockade. "Move that tank, dear, or buy some damn carrots. You're the real nuisance here." Climax hit at her emergency summit in the community hall, air thick with whispers as 90 souls packed in. Linda at the podium like a queen, posters of my crimes, blurry shots of egg handoffs as deals, rants about my corrupt badge shielding terror. She builds to a fever, jabs a finger my way. "I demand a citizen's arrest of this rancher thug betraying us all." Silence drops like a stone. Then I rise, uniform crisp, stroll up slow. "Evening, Linda. Been expecting this." Her triumph cracks as I unfold warrants. "You're under arrest for fraud, theft, false reports. The HOA fantasy's over." She shrieks, "Impossible, I'm protecting us." But feds step in, cuff her amid gasps, revealing the scam to stunned neighbors entitled to refunds. Her meltdown? Pure cinema. Raving conspiracies as cameras roll. Perp walk beaming live across Wyoming. 6 months on, Linda's doing 2 years federal, plus restitution and ironic farm labor penance. Judge quipped it might teach her about real work. Pine Ridge reformed legit, with ranch protections baked in. My spread? Bloomed into a co-op hub, annual fairs drawing crowds, even sparked state laws shielding rural folks from such grabs. Found love, too, with Vet Anna, who patched Daisy during the mess, planning vows under the oaks Linda once despised. Weirdly grateful. Her war-forged bonds, purpose, showed me bullies crack when you stand firm. But here's the rub. Was Linda pure villain or product of a system letting power corrupt the entitled? Makes you wonder if we'd all snap under that pressure or if justice always circles back. What's your take? Ever faced a neighborhood despot? Drop your stories below. Share if this rings true. Subscribe for more real-life showdowns where karma hits hard. Thanks for listening. Let's keep the conversation going.